Oh my gosh, you guys, your comments on my last video, I love it. I love the emojis, and it was just wonderful, and I thank you. You know who you are, and you know what it means. So those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I do not like scrappy spaces in my garden. I don't like things that look like they're dying back, browning, crunchy, crispy, empty. And I have been working on my Pentas garden because it was looking empty, brown, a little bit crunchy. And I want to show you what I've been doing because I think there's always a way to bring life back to a garden. And of course, yes, it's much easier when you live in Florida, zone 10A, but there's a lot you can do. So let me show you what I've been doing. This is what my Pentas garden looks like right now. It's got a cute puppy enjoying the sunshine. Now, you don't see a lot of pops of red, but you do see some. Well, of course I didn't take a before picture because who thinks to do that? I mean, not me. I had to see something he's taking care of in the start. And I was actually working on this yesterday also when I was filming this garden bed, but I wanted to stay focused and not be all over the place. And so this happened, but it's really easy for me to show you where you can imagine what it was like before, because I just took pots of things and stuffed them in here. A lot of them are holding other plants upright that were leaning backwards or laying down sideways that had blooms, but they weren't up where you could see them. Look at this gorgeous Pentas bloom right here. This was one of them. And look at all of these that are about to bloom. When these all open and look like this one, it's going to be gorgeous. And this plant was partially leaning backwards. And so, you know how, like when you have a bouquet of flowers and you hold them in your hand and they're all clumped together, how beautiful they look? Well, I use potted plants to force plants in the ground to have that same look. So you're about to dive into this garden section because if you dive in, you can see there is a pot right there. And you see this stem here and this stem? It is pushing those that way, where before they were leaning back. And this pot also has a Pentas in it. So not only are we getting more color, but this pot is shoving forward some stems, and which are these, which are then leaning forward onto this, which in turn makes this look very full of flowers, much more full than it looked like before I stuck that pot back there. Now over on this side, this was pretty much empty. The plants that are in here were some Pentas that I trimmed all the way down. You can see there's one back there. There's one down there. But when you trim a plant down to the ground that really needs trimmed down to the ground, well, first of all, it was looking scrappy to begin with. But second, when you trim it down, then you've got these big open holes, which is where you put in potted plants. Now, let me tell you about these two pots right here. Look at how gorgeous this red tropical sage is. It is just providing a spectacular pop of color. This is a random tropical sage that seeded itself into this pot. So this tropical sage just came up in this pot. This was a pot that had a plant in it that died. It was just sitting in the garden, and tropical sage seeds blew into it, as they do, and I got this plant. It's free. I just had it growing, sitting in the side somewhere thinking, oh, I'll find something to do with this. This little clay pot here, this, what was in here? Let's see if we can find the original plant. I honestly don't even remember what was originally planted, but this was in a garden bed, kind of shoved over where there was tropical sage around, and it just seeded the pot, and now I have a pot full of tropical sage. Look at the colors. They're so pretty. And it just sat there. Well, when you have pots full of random things that are Florida native and flower all year, this is the time to use them. Stick them in those little holes and fill that space with color. Look at that. So there's a pot of tropical sage there. There's one there. There's another one here up front. Look, this still has whatever was in here. It's growing back. I don't even know what this is, honestly. Y'all, look at it. But the tropical sage came in with it, and look at what it is doing. It is filling my garden. Now I have a white, a pink, and a red in this space, and I love it. Here's another one here. Do you see this beautiful pink, light pink? I love how it gets these color variations of so many shades of pink we can have. It's a pot right here. It's this little pot right here. The plant is right there, and all of this pink that is dispersed through this area is from that little pot. And look at how nicely it fills in with color. And, even though the butterflies aren't super present yet, who I do see coming back are the bees. And carpenter bees, bumblebees, they absolutely love tropical sage. So, you know what? If you have a prolific reseeder, get some of it growing in pots, and you can do the same thing with it and take a garden area that looks empty and cut back and fill it in with color, and I love it. But tropical sage isn't the only thing. I had other potted plants that were growing in areas of my garden, and I relocated them to fill in that one garden bed. So I have one garden space that looks really lush and full, while the other ones that you see me working on the past few videos have smaller, younger plants or regrowing plants, and it's going to take time for them to fill in. But I have that one bright spot so that when I come walking down my walkway and I get here on this overcast day, I want the sun to pop out. Right now there's more clouds than sun, so you have to see it on a cloudy day. But these are the two beds we've been working on. But then look right over here. Look at this red trash can that reminds you to tap the like button. No, that's not what I want you to look at. But go ahead and tap the like button. But look over here. Look at this. It's full, it's lush, it's gorgeous, and it doesn't look like it's the middle of January. And so here's some other pots I had. This one has a Pentas, and look, we're about to have a bloom, and a porterweed. And then this is my silver buttonwood, which I am loving more and more. I actually had one in here, and I moved another one in. You can see it right there. But look at how pretty the silver buttonwood is with the red pentas. It just adds a really cool variation. And so I have multiple of these potted, and they really want the sun. You can see, well, I'll show you the other ones. Their leaves look darker when they're not getting that good full baking sun. So just over here on the other side of where we were looking, I have some empty space, and I have one of the other silver buttonwoods right back there. And look at how dark. I almost feel like they're moldy. See? They don't look happy. They need the sun to bake the moisture off their leaves. And so even though right now we're not getting sun here, we do get sun here. So it will get better sun and hopefully get more white and bright like the other two I just showed you. Okay, so after gathering and filling in with random pots of things I'm just looking for around my garden. Again, this is another example. I didn't buy anything to fill in this garden space. This is all stuff I had in other places. I started working over here and I thought, I need to save this part to fill in some more to show you how I'm going to do it. And I don't even know how I'm going to do it because you know what? I think I found my best fine plants and already put them in over there, but we're going to try it. So right back in here, I did cut back. There's a pentas, that one stick. There's my little shiny blueberry back there. Another pentas. And there are a couple of tropical sage I chopped way down. And then, who are you? Who are you right here? Right here is, this guy is a porterweed. Okay, so we've got nothing but growing back, but look at all the places I could stick a pot in there while we're waiting. So the challenge is on me because, like I said, I think I used all the good stuff already, but we're going to go look. This little guy right here is let's see who you are. Tulsi basil. And it has the most aromatic basil scent. I'm just going to set it right here on this bench for a minute. Okay, here's another one of these. There's multiple of this plant, and some of them are false rosemary. And there's also that, which is probably some type of goldenrod. And this is where I am, I have random plants up here. This is where I come pick through and find things. So as I'm coming around the bend, look, here's another one. So let's grab that. All right, look at our collection is growing. All right, when we get over here, these are more of my sassafras and spice bush. Look at this spice bush is growing back. And look, tropical sage, tropical sage, tropical sage, tropical sage, tropical sage. It comes up everywhere. Here's another Aristolochia tomentosa. Look what's growing in it. All right, let's take this one. Look. Here's more, and you can see it's all gone to seed, which is why it comes up everywhere. So this is in a pot. It's even gone through the pot and rooted. Oh my gosh. Wow. The things you find. I found my swamp rose. I need to plant that. It's very thorny, so it's going to go in a wetland pot somewhere off to the side where we're not going to get stuck on it. Look, would you look at this? Look at this little pot right here. Oh, these are so funny. All right, it's this stem here. Look, it comes over here, over here, over here, up, 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 into my wild lime. And look, a sweet little zinnia flower. So we're going to take all these and make 1 or 2 planters full of them. We're going to clean them up, trim them back, and get them growing pretty again. Because when these are flowering, they're covered in pollinators. It's a wonderful thing to put in your garden. They also smell really good. And I wish I knew better who they are. But the one you got to see the name, I think the others are false rosemary. And they're very, very prolific. Okay, here's everybody all gathered together. I'm going to go find a pot to put them in. Oh, here's a great one. This is one I pulled a Pentas out of to plant in the garden we did yesterday. Oh, here's another good one. All right, I think these 2 will be enough. This is literally perfect because it's a little under halfway full of soil. Like I can just plop the plants out of there and set in like 3 of them. And one thing about these is they do well with deadheading. So once I deadhead this, you can see there's like a lot of new growth. Look, here's one that's got some flowers. Look at how cute they are. See, these need to be seen. So now that they're going to be all together, it'll be real easy for me to seek them out. Actually, they'll be in one of my main gardens. I won't have to seek them out. I will notice them and regularly trim them because you know I'm always down there deadheading my pentas to keep them blooming. So these then will fill out more. They'll have more blooms on them, and it's actually going to be beautiful, and hopefully they'll be covered with pollinators. Okay, this is the one that's the Thai basil, so I will make a little sign for it so I remember who it is. Not Thai. Did I say Thai basil? What is it? Tulsi basil. You guys, this plant is getting its own pot. While I was inside waiting for the ink to dry on the little sign I made for it, because the ink has to dry and then you put this little clear sticker over it. That's what helps keep it weatherproof. Anyway, I looked it up and was reading about it. Oh my gosh, I took a page of notes. I'm going to share them with you. Let's go walk around the garden. I'll tell you all the fabulous things about this plant. It is not a Florida native. It is from India and is connected to Ayurveda, which I love. I used to study Ayurveda when I was working on my my 2nd yoga certification, well, and my 3rd yoga certification for my 500 hours and then my Ashtanga yoga. Anyway, it's fabulous. Okay, let's see if I can tell you everything as I walk a full lap around the garden. All right. It is an aromatic herb from India, Ayurvedic medicine. It has adaptogenic properties, which means it helps the body to adapt to stress. You can chew the leaves. I'm tempted to chew one in front of you. It has a more clove-like, peppery flavor. So it says. So, you can make teas and you can use it in stir fry. It's also known as, are you all ready for this? Holy basil. Holy, because it has such life-changing benefits, such as managing stress, anxiety, and fatigue. And it also has blood thinning properties and can lower the sugar in your blood, so you have to be really careful if you are going to use it or consume it. It also, though, you don't want to chew a lot of it because it releases high levels of mercury. Like we don't want that. And iron, which, you know, that's not so bad. Hey, look, I did it. We're all the way back up here. to where we're working. Okay, and do you see that right over there, that little empty pot? Yep, that's going to be its home. It's a cool looking pot for a cool plant, and that plant needs to be all by itself so I know who it is, because that's incredible. So now I wonder if some of these other plants are it. Like, I don't think this one is. That one looks different. But like this one over here could be. And this one here could be. That's so interesting. I had a little medical miracle holy plant in my garden. It was just stuffed somewhere. Oh my goodness. Shame on me, huh? And I think that came from the nectary, because it looks like the label on the pot is one of the nectary labels. All right, we're all potted. Sign is going in. I'm so glad I looked that up. I want to eat a leaf. Should I eat a leaf? I mean, one little leaf. It said not large quantities, but here, let me find a little really fresh. Oh, this one right here. Right here. Teeny tiny leaf. You'll also get to see my facial expression. It's strong. It's not bad though. I lived. It I actually kind of like it. It's almost like a freshening taste. I'll have to like put it in stir fry or something, because I don't know. Okay, back to gardening. Okay, so this plant here has one of the growing back Aristolochia tomentosus. We're just gonna leave it in there and see what it does. When I was getting ready to pull this plant out, it had a sign. Yay me! This is false rosemary. So this is a decent pot. I'm just gonna leave this one in this pot. I'm gonna pull out the weeds, but I'm gonna leave the tropical sage, and I'll just, deadhead this and trim it up a little bit. Maybe get it standing more upright. And leave it here with its sign so we'll know who it is. Do you see that little bee? Bees love it. I looked it up. It is a Florida native and blooms in spring, pollinator favorite. Okay, we are potted up, trimmed up, and ready to go down in the garden, except I'm going to snatch up this little pink tropical sage that's growing up right here in my patio. And add it to this pot right here, just to give it a little bit more interest. Okay, I'm going to carry these all down to the other end of the garden. Be right back. All right, these three are here. I'm going to go get the one that's in the pretty pot. I put a raised planter right there. That'll give space to the things that are down there growing back. And I'm going to put the pot right there. Be right back. Here's what it looks like without the pot. And here's what it looks like with the pot. And I'm going to take the other three pots and fill them in here so you can see what it looks like now from here, and from here. And here we are after. Look at how filled in that looks compared to how it looked before. And all those plants that needed attention and I had a pretty cool plant in my garden. It's just been sitting there. Who knows when my husband and I pick that up, because a lot of times we'll buy plants and I'll just sit them in my garden and they'll stay in pots for a while. And that's what happened to that one. So here's a look all the way around. Just finding a few random plants around. You can really revamp, make over a garden space, fill it in, make it look lush and full, put a red trash can behind it, and you've got a look right there. And I did use 3 risers back there to get some of those pots up higher. Oh, there's a butterfly. Oh, it's a monarch. Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can get it on camera. Yep, look, it's a monarch. Where is it? Out there. Out in my side yard garden. On my Mexican sunflowers out there. I need to go clean those up. I need to trim all those ugly dead leaves off. Oh, it's so good to see you, monarch. I've been seeing fewer and fewer butterflies. More skippers, but oh my gosh, I don't think I saw one zebra longwing yesterday. I saw Gulf fritillary fly in and out. I need more butterflies. And this cold weather that's coming, it's not gonna help. Oh, it's beautiful.